Hello everyone, good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So, now that we are so close to NEET is on Sunday, and everyone must be scared. Even we are very tensed because we don't know what questions will come and how it will be. Okay, so what we thought is we'll try to give some instructions. Okay, we'll give you some instructions, tips, and most important thing is we'll try to discuss some of the previous year questions. Okay, yesterday we discussed about the 2020 question paper. Both of them were done. We did on chemistry, we did on biology. You can go back and check out the video. Okay, and today we're going to do the 2019 question. Okay, I'll be discussing about biology, and the other teacher will discuss about the chemistry. Okay, after this video, you can check that video out as well. Okay, so the thing with question papers is we tend to notice that questions tend to repeat themselves a lot. Okay, it will be repeating one, at least you can guess around 10 to 15 questions, okay, in different forms, but they'll tend to repeat themselves, and this is what we've noticed for the past few years. Okay, so always make sure that you have at least gone through the previous 5 years question. Okay, so that you know, at least you'll have an idea of, at least if you know some 30 to 40 questions also, if you know pakka the answer, pakka you know, then I'm sure you'll get a very good marks. Okay, so make sure that you revise these topics, whatever comes in the previous year's questions. Okay, so first I'll talk a little bit about us. Okay, we are from Practically, and it is India's first experiential app which runs for 6th to 12th grade. And we have a lot of videos and simulations, and a lot of other materials are there as well, which are very interesting. It is not boring. Okay, it is very interesting, and it will make the education, your studies, everything, it will make it even more fun. Okay, and you can like, share, and subscribe on the videos on YouTube. You can also follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. Okay, so starting with the 2019 question paper. Okay, there are around 90 questions, and we'll discuss them all today. So I'd like to go a little bit fast. Okay, I'd like to go a little bit fast so that I'll try to discuss everything, but not in a lot of details because we have 90 questions and we have only 90 minutes. Okay, so let's see. The Earth Summit held in Rio de Janeiro, that is Rio, okay, in 1992 was called to reduce CO2 emissions and global warming, to conserve biodiversity and sustainable utilization of benefits, to assess threat posed to native species by invasive weed species, and or for immediate steps to discontinue CFCs that were damaging the ozone layer. The thing is, Rio Summit which was held in 1992 was basically called, okay, for the conservation of the biodiversity and sustainable utilization of benefits. Okay, so the answer is 2. The other Montreal Summit and everything, that was called for the stratosphere and ozone layer, etc. But this was called for biodiversity and sustainable utilization of benefits. Okay, colostrum, the yellowish fluid secreted by mother during the initial days of lactation, is very essential to impart immunity to newborn infants because it contains natural killer cells, monocytes, macrophages, and immunoglobulin. The thing is, newborn babies, okay, although they have a little bit of innate immunity, but because they are newborn, okay, not a lot of it is generated. Okay, so that kind of immunity is given by the mother's milk. And the main thing which is there in the mother's milk is immunoglobulin A, sometimes immunoglobulin G, and immunoglobulin M also. These are sometimes, but mostly it has immunoglobulin A. Okay, so the answer is immunoglobulin A. Number 4. Okay, grass leaves curl inwards during very dry weather. Select the most appropriate reason for the following. See, during very dry weather, when there is not a lot of moisture is not present, during that time, what happens? The leaves tend to curl themselves. Okay, leaves curl themselves. Why? To minimize water loss. Okay, so the most appropriate reason is for flaccidity of bulliform cells. Okay, they become flaccid so that because of the water loss, and then this will make the leaves curl themselves to minimize water loss. Okay, so the answer is flaccidity of bulliform cells, which causes leaves to curl. Next, the shorter and longer arms of submetacentric chromosomes are referred to, okay, P arm and L arm, S arm and L arm, P and Q, Q and P, and M arm and N arm respectively. The shorter arm is P arm. Okay, P for petite. Okay, and the longer arm is Q arm. Okay, so the answer is P and Q arm. Next, respiratory quotient or RQ value of tripalmitin. Okay, this is a bit of a tricky question because you have got to know the chemical name of tripalmitin. You have to know. So, the chemical name of tripalmitin is C51 H98O6. Okay, so respiratory quotient, what happens here? C51 H98O6 plus oxygen. Okay, that is whatever we are taking in. And what has been given out? CO2 and H2O. Okay, and energy. This is what has been given out. Now we have to balance the equation. To balance it, you have to put 2. This is 12. Balance it. This will be 145. CO2 will be at 102. Balance it. This will be 98. Okay, so this is what happens. C51 H98O6, O2, CO2 and H2O, we balanced it. So the respiratory quotient, now the formula of respiratory quotient is amount of CO2 released by amount of oxygen consumed. Okay, so amount of CO2 released, here you can see it is 102, 102, and amount of oxygen is 145. So you divide it and the answer comes up to 0.7. Okay, so the answer is 0.7. This is a numerical. Okay, this was not there mostly in the 2020 question paper, not a lot of numericals, but there are hardly one or two. But in the 2019 question paper, I have seen there are few of numericals. So you have to be very careful in the 2021 exam also. Okay, next. Which of the following is a commercial blood cholesterol lowering agent? Okay, now a blood cholesterol lowering agent. 1. Cyclosporin, statins, streptokinase, lipases. Cyclosporin isn't. Streptokinase is also an enzyme. Lipase. So whatever cuts the. Okay. Now statin. The answer is the commercial blood cholesterol lowering agent is statin. Okay, so what it is, tell you a little bit about statin, is extracted from a type of yeast called Monascus purpureus. Okay, and it helps in lowering blood cholesterol. Okay, so the answer is statin. Next. Okay, match the following. A lot of these were there in the 2020 question paper. Okay, but in this one not so much, but you can expect that there will be some 5 or 6 matching questions in the 2021 this thing as well. Okay, at least 5 of them will come for sure. Okay, so we are matching structures to the organs. Now be very sure that you'll know at least, because you've gone through the material so many times. So the trick to this is, whatever you know, match that first. Okay, whatever you know for sure that you match that first, and then you try to back answer it. You see whatever is there in the the options, and you match that accordingly. See, for example, I know for sure that islets of Langerhans is there in pancreas. Okay, so C1. So we have now eliminated the option 1. Okay, now what? Now what can we think about it? Okay, Glissen's capsule, I know, corresponds to liver. So D4. So either 2 or 3. Now we have taken out this as well. Okay. Now Brunner's gland is a part of duodenum. Okay. Brunner's gland D2. Okay. So the answer is 3. Now crypts of liver corresponds to small intestine. Okay, so the answer is 3. Because I know islets of Langerhans corresponds to pancreas and Glissen's capsule corresponds to liver, and I back answered the rest of the 2. Okay, so this is a trick to solve these kind of questions. Next. Which of the following is the most important cause for animals and plants being driven to extinction? habitat loss and fragmentation, drought and floods, economic exploitation, alien species invasion. Okay, this is a very funny option. This will never be possible. Okay, economic exploitation, not so much. That also won't be there. Okay, animals or plants. This happens, drought and floods actually happens. It is a reaction because of deforestation. So this is not a direct cause also. This also causes a lot of extinction, but this is a reaction. The best possible option here is habitat loss and fragmentation, which causes a plant or an animal to go extinct. Okay, so this is the answer. Next, which part of the brain is responsible for thermoregulation? Cerebrum, no. Corpus callosum, no. Medulla oblongata, no. The answer is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. Okay, it maintains our body temperature. That is the job of hypothalamus. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, if you have any doubts or any kind of doubts you have, please try to put it in the chat box and I'll be sure to answer your queries. Okay. Okay. Avnish Kumar. Okay, Avnish. Hello, Avnish. Thank you for joining. Now, old biology teacher is not here today, so I am taking the class. And good morning to you as well. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Okay. So, consider following features: organ system level of organization, bilateral symmetry, and true coelomates with segmentation of body. So, which of the animal groups possesses all of the above characteristics? Okay, so the thing here is that Annelida has all three. Arthropoda has also all three. Even Chordata is also bilaterally symmetrical, and there is a organization and coelomate. But mollusca is not bilaterally symmetrical. Okay, so this also has mollusca, so this is not possible. This also has mollusca, not possible. This also has. So the answer is 1. Because all three of them, Annelida, Arthropoda, and Chordata, all of them have all of the three characteristics. Okay, let's see the next question. Select the sequence of organs in the alimentary canal of cockroach starting from mouth. Okay, I will write the whole thing first and then we'll match it with the options. Okay, let's see. There is from the mouth, we'll go pharynx, then we'll go esophagus. Okay, then we'll go crop. Then we see gizzard. Then we see ileum. Okay, colon and rectum. Okay, this is the whole scenario of a cockroach's alimentary canal. Okay, so from the mouth we go to pharynx, esophagus, that is there in all the options. Then there is crop. Okay, crop. then gizzard, then ileum, then colon, then rectum. All of this is correct. The answer is number 1. Okay, so that is what is seen. Next, which of the following gases is mainly responsible for greenhouse effect? Ozone and ammonia, oxygen and nitrogen, nitrogen, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide. Greenhouse effect is basically greenhouse gases basically increases the temperature of the atmosphere. Okay, and this is what causes global warming. Okay, there are some gases which actually helps a lot in global warming. One of them is CO2, which is almost 60% responsible. Okay, then there is methane, the CH4, that is around 20% responsible. There are also chlorofluorocarbons. Okay, chlorofluorocarbons, that is CFCs. They are around 14% responsible. And then there is nitrous oxide, that is around 6% responsible. Okay, so carbon dioxide, methane, CFCs, and N2O. The answer is carbon dioxide and methane, 60% and 20% responsible. Okay, so the answer is 4. Next, which of the following muscular disorders is inherited? So this disorder is genetically passed on from the parent to the child. So tetany is not, okay, tetany is a muscular spasm, okay, which is not inherited. Muscular dystrophy is inherited. Okay, muscular dystrophy is genetic. Myasthenia gravis is an autoimmune disease. And botulism is caused by Clostridium botulinum. Okay, so bacteria. So none of these. The answer is muscular dystrophy. Okay. Okay. So next, the ciliated epithelial cells are required to move particles or mucus in a specific direction. In humans, these cells are mainly present in bile duct, does not have mucus. Okay, so not this. Pancreatic duct also does not have mucus. Eustachian tube has wax, does not have mucus. Salivary gland also does not have mucus. Branchioles have mucus and fallopian tubes have mucus because they are moving something. Branchioles are trying to move the gases. Fallopian tube is trying to move the egg or the sperm towards each other. Okay, so that is what both of them need movement. Okay, so the answer is bronchioles and fallopian tube. Next, again, match the column P, Q, R, S, T. Okay, in ECG, this we are talking about ECG or electrocardiogram. There we have waves. So there are 3 kinds of waves. There is P wave, there is QRS, and there is T wave. This is kind of a complex. Okay, so P wave basically it helps in the depolarization of atria. Okay, QRS is depolarization of ventricles. Okay, T wave on the other hand is repolarization of ventricle. Reduction is seen in coronary ischemia. Okay, so QRS, we'll start with QRS, depolarization of ventricles. T wave, repolarization of ventricles. Okay. Reduction is coronary ischemia. Okay. P is okay. So this is the match. Next. In which of the following is not a method of in situ conservation of biodiversity? Okay. Biodiversity is basically in situ, as in it happens naturally. Okay, so biosphere reserve is in situ. Wildlife sanctuary also, this happens naturally, it is in situ. Botanical garden is ex situ because it is man-made. Okay, sacred grove is also in situ. So the answer is botanical garden. Okay. Okay. In a species, the weight of newborn ranges from 2 to 5 kilos. 97% of newborn with an average weight between 3 to 3.3 kilos survive, whereas 99% of the infants born with weight from 2 to 2.5, 4.5 to 5 dies. Okay, this kind of selection process is known as stabilization selection. What happens? Babies are generally when they are born, they weigh between 3 kilos to 3.3 kilos. Okay, that is the average weight. Okay, now when a baby is 2.2 to 2.5, there is some kind of a malnutrition or some organ failure which has happened. That is why the baby is so lower in the weighing scale. So these kind of babies do not survive. Okay, same for 4.5 to 5. This is some kind of a disease which has made the baby to be so swollen, or some kind of problems might have happened internally. Okay, they also do not survive. And this kind of selection where only some of the babies they survive, okay, which is has an average weight of 3 to 3 kilos, that is known as stabilization selection. Okay. Okay, the correct sequence of phases of cell cycle, very, very easy, and this question keeps repeating itself. Okay, suppose this is the cell cycle. Okay, so it starts from G1, S, G2 and M. M is the longest. Okay, it goes like this. So the answer is 4, G1S, G2M. Okay, this is the answer. Next, how does steroid hormone influence the cellular activities? Changing the permeability of cell membrane, binding to DNA, and forming gene hormone complex, activating cyclic AMP located on cell membrane, to using aquaporin channels as secondary messengers. Okay, so anybody has an answer to this? If anybody is watching, can anybody answer? Okay, let's see. Okay, I'll answer then. The thing is, how does steroid hormone influence cellular activities? The thing is, when steroid hormones, when they are secreted, okay, they directly, okay, enter the cell, okay, and try to bond with the nucleus of the cell, okay, nucleus of the cell. Okay, now this is actually done with the help of intracellular receptors. So what happens when it tries to bond with the nucleus? Nucleus has what? Nucleus has the genetic material. Okay, now nucleus, since it has the genetic material, what happens? The genetic material tries, it has the gene. Okay, now the steroid hormones directly bind to the gene. Okay, and it does its activities. Okay, so changing the permeability of cell membrane, no, this does not happen. Binding to DNA and forming a gene hormone complex. See, gene hormone complex where directly goes to the gene. So this is the right answer, a gene hormone complex. Activating cyclic AMP located on cell membrane, no. Using aquaporin, no, they don't use these. They use intracellular channels, okay, and form a gene hormone complex. Okay, so this is what is seen. Okay, we don't have a lot of time, let's run. Okay, which of this following statement is not correct? Lysosomes have numerous hydrolytic enzymes. That is true. The hydrolytic enzymes of lysosomes are active under acidic pH. That is also true. Lysosomes are membrane bound structures. Okay, true. Lysosomes are formed by the process of packaging in endoplasmic reticulum. This is wrong because are formed by the action of Golgi bodies. Okay, so the answer is 4. Let's see. Which of the following statements regarding post-fertilization development in flowering plants is correct? Ovary develops into a fruit, zygote develops into embryo, Central cell develops into endosperm. Ovules develop into embryo sac. Let's see. Ovary actually becomes seed. Zygote becomes fruit. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Let's start again. Okay, let's see. Ovary, zygote, central cell, ovule. Okay. So ovary actually becomes fruit. That's true. Zygote becomes embryo. Central cell becomes endosperm. Ovule actually becomes seed. Okay, so let's see. Ovary develops into fruit, right? Zygote into embryo, central cell into endosperm. Ovules develop into embryo sac. No, it develops into seed. Okay, so the answer is 4. Okay, next, concavalin A. Concavalin A is actually a secondary metabolite. Okay, now out of all 4 of this, an alkaloid is not a secondary metabolite. No, a lectin is a secondary metabolite. Okay, so the answer is 3. Lectin is a secondary metabolite. Okay, so next, which of the following equipments is essentially required for growing microbes on large scale for industrial production of enzymes? BOD incubator. We'll go one by one. Okay. It is not for preparing purpose. It measures biological oxygen demand. So this is not. Digester, this is for waste water treatment. So no. Industrial oven for heating purposes. So no. Bioreactor, this helps in preparing industrial enzymes. Okay, so this is the answer. 4. Next, coenzyme or metal ion that is tightly bound to enzyme protein is called prosthetic group. Okay, a complete catalytic active enzyme with its bound prosthetic group is called apoenzyme. Okay, this is correct. Coenzyme, okay, or metal ion that is tightly bound to the enzyme protein is prosthetic group. Now, complete catalytic enzyme is known as holoenzyme. Okay, not apoenzyme. So this will be holoenzyme. Okay, so A is true, but B is false. Okay. Okay, next. Purines found both in DNA and RNA are, okay, let's see. DNA, purine is adenine and guanine. Okay. And pyrimidine is cytosine, thymine. Okay. In RNA, again, purine is adenine, guanine. Pyrimidine is cytosine and uracil. Okay, purines in both DNA RNA are adenine and guanine. See, adenine, guanine, adenine, guanine. Okay, so answer is 2. Next, select the correct sequence for transport of some sperm cells in male reproductive system, how it travels. Let's see. So we'll write it. I know the like the sequence. I'll write it and then we'll match it. Okay. So it starts with seminiferous tubules. Okay. Then it goes to retitestis. Then it goes to vasa parencia. Okay. Then it goes to epididymis. Goes to vas deferens. Goes to ejaculatory duct. From there, it goes to urethra and then it goes to meatus. Okay, so let's see. Seminiferous tubules. Okay, here it is. 1 second. Seminiferous tubules. Retitestis. Okay, there's no retitestis over here. This is also wrong. Vas efferentia. Epididymis. Vas deferens. Ejaculatory duct. Urethra. Meatus. Okay, the answer is 2. Okay, so this is the answer. Another matching. Okay, Homo habilis, Neanderthalensis, Erectus, and Sapiens. Okay, let's see. Homo habilis had the smallest brain. Okay, it is 650 to 800. Neanderthalensis had the brain capacity was almost like Sapiens. Okay, so that was around 1400 cc. Erectus had a smaller brain than Neanderthalensis, so 900, and Sapiens had 1350. Okay, so let's see what is there. A3, okay, B4, B3, B4, option 3. Next, variations caused by mutation as proposed by Hugo de Vries. He said it is random and directionless. Okay, Hugo de Vries said variations are random and directionless. That's it. Where is my cursor? Yeah. 2. Next. Which of the following pair of organelles does not contain DNA? Most of the double bound organelles only has contained DNA, like nucleus, chloroplast, mitochondria, etc. Okay, so mitochondria has DNA. Okay, chloroplast has DNA. Mitochondria has DNA. So the answer here is lysosomes and vacuoles, they do not have DNA. This third. Next, due to the increased airborne allergens and pollutants, many people in urban areas are suffering from respiratory disorder causing wheezing. Due to, see, in urban areas, there are a lot of triggers, okay? Urban areas, okay, there are lots of triggers such as allergens and dust, okay, which causes asthma. Now, asthma is one thing where there is inflammation of bronchi and bronchioles. Okay, so the answer is inflammation of bronchi and bronchioles. Next, select the incorrect statement. Male fruit fly is heterogamatic. In male grasshoppers, 50% sperms have no sex chromosome. Okay, these are all correct. Male fruit fly is heterogamatic, a male and a female. 50% sperms have no sex chromosome, right? In domesticated fowls, sex progeny depends on type of sperm rather than egg. We'll discuss about this later. Human males have one of their sex chromosome much shorter than the other. This is right. See, in domesticated fowls, in birds basically, okay, what happens? The sex progeny, actually the sexual allele is there present in the females. Okay, has how we have, females do not have the sex chromosome because we are XX and males are XY. It is just the opposite in birds. Okay, it is present in females. So it goes like this. This sperm is the male part. And there is egg. This is the female part. Now, this has divisions A plus C, okay, which is 100% available. And they have A plus Z is 100, sorry, it is 50, and A plus W, which is 50. So either one of them will decide if it is a female or a male. And that has been given by the egg. So it is not the sperm. This is totally opposite what happens. The answer is 3. Okay. Next, DNA precipitation out of a mixture of biomolecules can be achieved by the treatment of this. Is very easy. If you have read about DNA, okay, so one second. Oh my god, 1 second. Okay, sorry. If you have read about DNA, okay, that time you can actually see that there it is made up of, like when you want to precipitate out DNA, you need to add chilled ethanol. Okay, so that is the answer. You need chilled ethanol. Option is 2. Okay, sorry for dropping my phone. And okay, if you have any doubts, just put it in the chat box. Okay, select the group of biocontrol agents. Okay, here we'll see Bacillus thuringiensis, okay, is a biocontrol agent. Tobacco mosaic virus is not. It is a pathogen. Aphids are pests. Okay, trichoderma is a agent, okay, biocontrol agent. Baculovirus is also an agent. Bacillus thuringiensis is also an agent, okay. Oscillatoria, it helps in nitrogen fixation, okay. Rhizobium, nitrogen fixation. Trichoderma is yes. Nostoc, fixation. Azospirillum, fixation. Nucleopolyhedrovirus, pathogen, okay, sorry, pathogen. So all three are trichoderma, baculovirus, Bacillus thuringiensis. All three are biocontrol agents. Okay, in select the incorrect statement. Inbreeding increases homozygosity. Inbreeding is essential to evolve. Okay. Inbreeding increases homozygosity, that is right. Inbreeding is essential to evolve pure lines in animal, okay, that is right. Inbreeding selects harmful recessive genes that reduce fertility and productivity, that is wrong, because it does not select, it basically exposes, okay, so that is wrong. Inbreeding helps in accumulation of superior genes and elimination of undesirable genes in animals. So the answer is 3. Next. Okay, another one. Matching the following. Let's see. Okay, lactobacillus. Let's see. First, we'll do with, I know Saccharomyces cerevisiae or yeast is used in bread. Okay, B4. Let's see, B4. All three of them have B4. Okay, now I'll go to the next one. Let's see. Lactobacillus has helped in acetic acid. Okay, Aspergillus niger helps in production of citric acid. Acetobacter aceti helps in the production of cheese. So let's see. A5. Where am I going wrong? Okay. 1 second. Let's see. Okay, we'll start again. Saccharomyces cerevisiae is bread. Okay, lactobacillus is citric acid. Okay, Aspergillus niger is acetic acid. Okay, this was where I was wrong. And Acetobacter aceti has cheese. Okay, curd is not there. This is where I went wrong. Okay, so lactobacillus, citric acid, A3 here. A3, B4, C5 and D1. Okay, so the answer is 3. Okay, next. Which of the direction of movement of sugars in phloem? Okay, phloem is actually helps bringing both up and down. Okay, it is bidirectional. Okay. Okay, so I don't have a lot of time. We'll try to go fast. Okay. In some plants, the female gamete develops an embryo without fertilization. This is known as parthenogenesis, where female gametes, they just fertilize even without a male gamete. Okay, next. Persistent nucellus in seed is known as perisperm. Okay, next. What map unit is adopted in the construction of genetic maps. Okay, genetic maps, what is there? A unit of distance between genes of chromosome represents 1% of crossover. So map unit centimorgan is basically 1% of crossover. Okay, genes, okay, here it's representing 1%, not 100 or 10 or 50, representing 1% of crossover. This 3. Next, what would be the, okay, this is a numerical. What would be the heart rate of a person if the cardiac output is 5 liters? Blood volume in ventricles at the end of diastole is 100 and systole is 50. Let's see. Now, output is 5 liters. That is 1000 ml. Okay. Now, diastole is 100 ml. Systole is 50 ml. Okay, so stroke volume is 100 minus 50, that is 50 ml. Now to calculate beats, okay, cardiac output, it's actually stroke into heart rate. Okay, so the cardiac output we know is 5,000. Stroke is 50. Okay. Into heart rate. So the heart rate will be 5,550 or 100 beats per minute. Okay. So this is the answer. Next, Bacillus is a group of bacteria helping in denitrification. Okay. The other organisms, rhizobium and all, they help in nitrification and all, nitrogen fixation. Thiobacillus is an anaerobic bacteria, helps in denitrification, converts oxides of nitrogen into free into. Okay. Next, which of the following factors is responsible for formation of concentrated urine? The thing with concentrated urine is, okay, it happens, okay, in the loop of Henle, okay, and vasa recta. What happens? Okay, hyperosmolarity is maintained. Okay, and what happens? It has a counter current. Okay, counter current flow. Okay, which makes sure that the filtrate, the initial filtrate is like, what to say, initial filtrate is lighter than the urine. So urine is much more concentrated because of this hyperosmolarity. Okay, so low levels of diuretic hormone, no. Okay, maintaining hyperosmolarity towards inner medullary interstitium in the kidneys. This is the answer. Next, which of the following statements regarding mitochondria is correct? Outer membrane is permeable to monomers of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Enzymes, okay, this is correct. Enzymes of electron transport are embedded in the outer membrane, no, wrong. Okay, inner membrane is convoluted in foldings. Mitochondrial matrix contains singular DNA molecule and ribosomes. See, this is the mitochondria. Okay, so what happens? The electron transport chain, okay, happens inside, not outside. Okay, so this is the inner membrane. So is 2. Okay, so we don't have a lot of time. We'll just try to run. Okay, xylem translocates everything. Okay, not only water or mineral salts, etc. Water, mineral salts, some organic nitrogens, everything xylem can translocate. The answer is 4. Next, cell in G0 phase is exiting. Okay, what happens? G1, S, G2, M, it exits after M between G1, it exits, then might come back again. So it exits the cycle. Next, which of the following statements given below is not true about formation of annual rings? Annual ring is actually a combination of spring wood and autumn wood produced in a year, no. Okay, annual ring is a combination of spring wood and autumn wood. Okay, different activity of cambium causes light and dark bands. Okay, activity of cambium depends on variation in climate. Okay, now annual rings are not prominent in trees of temperate region, wrong. It is prominent because cambium activity is higher in temperate region. Okay, so the answer is 4. Which of the following ecological pyramids is generally inverted? Grassland, no. Energy, no. That is also a proper pyramid. Biomass in forest, no. Biomass in sea. What happens is goes like this. Large fishes, small fishes, zooplanktons, phytoplanktons. Okay, so it is an inverted, okay, inverted pyramid. Okay, answer is 4. Placentation, in which ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary or in peripheral part, is basal, axial, parietal, and central. The thing is parietal. Okay, it is seen in mustard, argemony, kind of plants. Which of the following protocols did aim for reducing emission of chlorofluorocarbons into atmosphere? That is the Montreal Protocol. Okay, that is the Montreal Protocol. Okay, which of the following contraceptive methods do involve a role of hormone? Lactation, amenorrhea, pills, and emergency contraceptives. Okay, lactation, amenorrhea, barrier method does not involve hormones. Okay, CUT does not. Again, barrier methods do not involve hormones. Lactation amenorrhea happens because of prolactin. Pills, they have progesterone. Okay, emergency contraceptives also has estrogen and progesterone. Okay, so the answer is 1. Tidal volume and expiratory reserve volume of an athlete is 500 ml and 1000 ml. Okay, respectively. What will be his expiratory capacity of the residual volume? Okay, what happens here is tidal volume is 500 ml. ERV or expiratory reserve volume is 1000 ml. Okay, now expiratory capacity is equal to TV plus ERV. Okay, so the answer is 500 plus 1000 ml. It's 1500 ml. Answer is 1500. Okay, next. What is the fate of male gametes discharged in the synergid? In the synergid, this happens in a flower. What happens? One of them, they fuse to the egg, and the other one fuses with the central nuclei. Okay, which helps in double fertilization. Okay, answer is 4. I don't have a lot of time. Let's see. What is the site of perception of photoperiod necessary for induction of flowering plants? Whenever it comes to photoperiodism and everything, it will always be leaves. Select the correctly written scientific name of mango, which is first described by Carolus Linnaeus. This Mangifera indica Linn. This is the correct option. Okay. Following statements describe the characteristics of enzyme restriction nuclease. Identify the incorrect statement. The enzyme cuts DNA molecule at identified position of DNA. Okay. Enzyme cuts DNA at specific sites and cuts only one of the 2 strands. No, because it cuts both the strands. Okay. Enzyme cuts sugar phosphate backbone at specific site on each strand, recognizes specific palindromic nucleotide sequence. The answer is 2. From evolutionary point of view, retention of female gametophyte with developing young embryo on parent sporophyte first time is observed. No, it's not observed in bryophytes, which is liverworts. Okay, no, not even in mosses. It's observed in pteridophytes. It's also observed in gymnosperms, but evolutionary point of view will be the first one to do so. Pteridophytes. Next, okay, in antererum snapdragon, a red flower was crossed. Okay, instead of me reading the full question, I just say whenever you hear snapdragon, okay, you should know snapdragon was an exception to Mendel's laws. Okay, so law of segregation does not apply in his experiment. Conversion of glucose to glucose 6-phosphate in glycolysis happens due to hexokinase. Okay, glucose 6-phosphate hexokinase. Drug heroin is synthesized by acetylation of morphine. Select the hormone releasing IUD. Hormone releasing IUD is progestasert and LNG20. These release hormones. Okay, because Waltz do not release hormones. Multilode 375 also, and here also no. So the answer is progestasert and LNG20. Okay, another numerical gene locus. Okay, AA, and if the frequency of dominant allele, okay, we know A plus B whole square is equal to A square plus 2AB plus B square. This is the formula. Okay, so when, okay, suppose dominant allele is 0.4, it is A. So A square will be 0.16, is AA. Again, recessive is 1 minus, because dominant is 0.4, recessive will be 0.6. So suppose that is small a, is 0.6. So AA will be 0.36. Now 2AB or 2AA is 0.4 into 0.6, that is 0.24. So the correct one is 0.616, 0.24 and 0.36. Answer is 2. Okay, which of the following is true for golden rice? Vitamin A is enriched with the gene of daffodil. This is the golden rice. This is the correct answer. Okay. This pest resistant with the gene, no. This drought tolerant, no. Yellow grains because of gene introduced for fermented variety of rice, no. Golden rice is enriched with a gene from daffodil. Pinus seed cannot germinate and is established without fungal association. This is because, okay, this is because it has obligate association with mycorrhiza. Next, which of the following features of genetic code doesn't allow bacteria to produce human insulin by recombinant DNA technology? Is because genetic code is nearly universal. It applies to everyone. Okay, so it is universal in nature, that's why. Which of the following STDs is not completely curable? Okay, gonorrhea is completely curable. Genital warts is completely curable. Genital herpes, no. Chlamydiasis is because genital herpes is caused by herpes simplex virus, which has no cure, like hepatitis B and AIDS has no cure. The answer is genital herpes. Which of the following statements is incorrect? Periods lack a protein coat. Correct. Okay. Viruses are obligate parasites. Correct. Infective constituent in viruses is the protein coat. No. It is the DNA or RNA. Prions consist of abnormally folded proteins. That is also correct. The answer is 3 because it is the infective constituents is DNA or RNA. Next, okay, this is the organism with the characteristics. Bombyx, I know, is an arthropod, so it will be pigeon tubules. Tinea, platyhelminthes, flame cells. Okay, pleurobrachia is foam plates, and pila is radula. Okay, B4. Okay, and D1, A3. Okay, this is the answer. EST refers to gene expressed as RNA, polypeptide expression, DNA polymorphism, novel DNA sequences. Okay, genes expressed as RNA because it is used in human genome project. Okay, which of the following statements is correct? Okay, morels and truffles are edible delicacies, right? Claviceps as a source of many alkaloids and LSD. Conidia have produced exogenously ascopose and ascopose endogenously. Yeasts have filamentous bodies, no, because it is unicellular. In nature, it is sac-like structure. It does not have hyphae. Okay, so the answer is 4. Next, matching saprophytes, they live on decomposition of dead organic materials. Parasites living on plants and animals. Lichens, symbiotic association between algae and fungi. Mycorrhiza, symbiotic association with fungi and plant roots. A, B, A2 and B3 to B3. It's 4. Which of the following glucose transporters is insulin dependent? Okay, that is GLUT4. Insulin dependent. Which of the following immune responses is responsible for rejection of kidney graft? That is the cell-mediated immune response. Okay, because when it comes kidney graft, it recognizes, the body recognizes that this is a different organ from the original organ. So the mediated response is cell-mediated. Use of artificial kidney during hemodialysis may result in nitrogenous waste buildup in the body, non-elimination of excess potassium ions. This is incorrect. Okay, reduction of reduced absorption of reduced absorption of calcium ions from reduced RBC production. So A and D are correct. Which of the following statements is correct? Cornea is a, okay, so cornea is a dense matrix of collagen with most sensitive, which is the most sensitive portion in the eye. Frequency of recombination between gene pairs, okay, how as a measure of distance between gene was explained by Alfred Sturtevant. Okay, I gene, okay, let's see, let's match the following. I gene is a repressor. Z gene is a association with beta galactosidase. A gene is transacetylase and Y gene is a permease. So the answer is 3. Takes very long time for plants, pineapple plants to produce flowers. Okay, what can be used for that? Auxin and ethylene, they can help in the production of the fruits and ripening of it. Identify the cells whose secretion from the lining of gastrointestinal tract from various enzymes, that is the goblet cells, it lubricates due to mucus. Okay, goblet cells. Okay, which of the following can be used as a biocontrol agent in the treatment of plant diseases? Is by trichoderma, not chlorella, anabina, lactobacillus, have other purposes. It is trichoderma. Phloem and gymnosperms lack, they lack both seed tubes and companion cells. Okay, because it is primitive in nature. Extrusion of second polar body from egg nucleus occurs after entry of sperm, but before fertilization, because there are two bodies which goes, one before the fertilization it happens. Okay, under which of the following conditions there will be no change in reading? Okay, so if it goes like this, it will be GGU. Okay, from the 7th, 8th and 9th position, if it's changed, okay, there will be no change. The concept of omnis cellula e cellula regarding cell division was proposed by Rudolf Virchow, because Leiden and Swan gave microscopes and Aristotle told about plants and animals. So it is Rudolf Virchow. What triggers activation of prototoxin to activate Bt toxin in Bacillus thuringiensis and bollworm? It is the alkaline pH of gut. Alkaline pH, okay, turns the protoxin into a proper toxin. Okay, identify the correct pair representing the causative agent of typhoid fever and the confirmatory test of typhoid. It is Salmonella typhi and Vidal test. Antigen, antibody reaction. What is the genetic disorder in which an individual has an overall masculine development? Gynecomastia and is sterile, that is Klinefelter syndrome. Okay, what happens? You see trisomy, okay, and there is the production of a XXY gene, okay, which makes the person muscular. Okay, that is Klinefelter syndrome. Polyblend, a fine powder of recycled modified plastic, has proved to be a good material for construction of roads with bitumen. Which of the following methods is suitable for disposal of nuclear waste? Shoot the waste into space? No. Bury the waste under Antarctic ice cover? No. Dump the waste within rocks under deep ocean? No. That will kill the animals over there, the fishes and all. Bury the waste within rocks deep below the earth surface. This is the right answer. Okay, another one. Insulin causes diabetes mellitus. Okay, growth hormone, acromegaly, thyroxine, goiter, corticosteroids, Addison's disease. So insulin, okay, and then thyroxine, B5. Okay, B4. Okay, select the correct option. 8, 9, 10th pairs are articulate. No. Okay. Second answer. 11th, 12th pairs of ribs are connected to the sternum. No. Each rib is a flat, thin bone. No, they are not flat, thin bones. There are 7 pairs of vertebrosternal, 3 pairs of vertebrochondral, and 2 pairs of vertebral ribs. This is the correct answer. Okay. So that was all. That was the 2019 class, 2019 question paper. And I hope you got some idea how it will be, how the questions might be. Tomorrow we'll be discussing the 2018 question paper. Okay, and I hope you guys join us again.